In 2012, US astronaut Don Pettit brought along a few companions to the International Space Station, one of them being sunflower seeds. Pettit regularly blogged about his budding friendship with those seeds and shared photos of the gardening process. How sunflower seeds will do in the space? Plants that have grown in zero gravity in International Space Station end up looking really unusual. What they found is that the plants that were farther from the light started to grow down, but then they did this slant to the left, which is called skewing. So that was really surprising to them because they had thought that skewing was a result of gravity. So something else was guiding it, and it's probably light, but it also could be different things like moisture or nutrients. This didn't make sunflower as much popular and coolness approved in India as the Carly Tales article and a couple of Instagram posts managed to do for the last couple of years. Posts which created slight symptoms of helianthrophobia within me, or so I suspected. Let me explain. The fear of flowers is called anthophobia. This word comes from two Greek words, anthos meaning flowers and phobo means having a dread or dislike, hence phobia. Having a fear of flowers is sometimes taken as being in fear of nature, but anthophobia is more defined than that. A person who experiences anthophobia usually only has the fear of flowers and not other plants or trees. But they may try and stay away from situations that put them close to nature for fear of coming across flowers. You may find it difficult to believe that such phobias exist for real, but they do. Maybe those who suffer from it are reacting to early childhood muscle memory of responding to a bee or wasp's painful bite close to a flower, or a funeral which totally confused their underdeveloped brain because they saw a terrible loss to be associated with their favorite flowers, or a relative's visit with beautiful bouquet only to lure them in for molestation and other exploitation at childhood. Possibilities are endless regarding how a generally pleasant stimuli for most people can be a complex cognitive trauma for a small section, and that doesn't mean they have some psychological disorder or must have a history of mental disorders in family. Fear of sunflowers take the general fear of flowers one step further, as it's now centered around the fear of one specific type of flower. The fear of sunflowers is called helianthrophobia. Now, if you follow my work, you know that nature is dear to me. That's where I feel most alive. Even when a leopard looks me in the eye and walks slowly during a jungle safari, I feel thrilled but not fear. By the way, this happened to me recently in Bandipur, and if you're interested to see that video, make sure you hit the bell icon after subscribing. Anyway, have you seen those popular Instagram posts where you are asked to take a break from your chaotic life to visit massive blooming sunflower field in the season and enjoy a DDLG moment, albeit mentally swapping the mustard field of Punjab with sunflower field of Karnataka? Those visuals first created an aversion as I saw one of my favorite flowers to transform into a prop to be carelessly touched and even trampled upon as people were acting and dancing strangely around it and posting reels. I have absolutely no issues with people dancing and making reels, but what repelled me was that many benefits of sunflowers are lost when they are cut or squashed by people in overexcitement to get the perfect selfie angle. Sunflower seeds are a favorite food for a host of birds and they require pollination by insects, usually bees. These sunflowers are planted on agricultural lands for business, but it's primarily present for enhancing, maintaining, and protecting diverse wildlife population, more so as it's close to a national park protected area. Since it's open to public and marketed as a tourist attraction, it's fine to visit fields. But we need to be mindful about the fact that while it's purely aesthetics for most of us, other beings depend on them throughout the year for nourishment, long after the sun's favor passes. By the way, if any of my overseas audience don't know what's DDLG, that's a highly popular and longest running Hindi movie of 90s with massive international box office success. I still feel these resplendent flowers can instantly brighten my day, and it's there adjacent to my front porch. But even otherwise, I would have not visited Gundlupet to experience sunflower and marigold fields unless I was crossing from this place. That too, I stopped by because it's off season. I mostly stayed outside and clicked photos and videos of this place. My telephoto lens is mostly enough for the quality I'm happy with, and I didn't want to crush flower stem for perfect lighting. While I noticed they have created a narrow path and you can enter the field following that makeshift path carefully if you want to, but a discomfort set in and I quickly came back. Not just those filmy style photoshoot aspirants enter here, even many wildlife and nature photographers get in and stay for hours to get those razor sharp high magnification macro photos. But what they don't show you in Instagram posts is often they attract insects with sugar water, pieces of fruits, ants, and even caterpillars to get that shot on flower, whereas they are rather proud to show how they use UV IVF or ultraviolet induced visible fluorescence or some other high intensity light box to display almost every hair follicle of that insect. I think it's totally needless to see such details unless one is researching on the flower or insects. Do you know that some photographers even freeze insects for macro? While I absolutely loved looking at these flowers, I realized that I developed a certain unease of sunflower fields, though it cannot be called helianthrophobia. A shift must occur in our tourism. These mindless tourism and photography practices are not just encouraged in India. Whether it's the tulip fields of Netherlands or the lavender meadows of Washington DC, online influencers flocking casual tourists jaywalking to recreate their favorite movie moment, and photographers wanting to earn their bragging rights by clicking pictures with finest precision are all responsible, but nothing can happen till the authority remain unaccountable. Californian sunflower farm Bogle Seeds, which was immensely popular for its super bloom of sunflowers, had to close in 2019 due to various harm done by visitors, fearing this field would be irreparably damaged. Considering that a major share of these flowers in Karnataka's Gundlupet is produced by paint manufacturing companies, and rest of the flowers go for interior design, decoration and garland making, I don't think local farmers who are charging from visitors will even care here. The price of flowers will skyrocket during Onam season, and the flowers from Gundlupet will add to the Onam celebrations in North Kerala. If pre-monsoon blesses with abundant rainfall, National Highway 766, surrounded by fields and Bandipur forest, becomes a scenic location to slowly drive around. What I have shown you is nothing since this is not the season. In real season, one can experience sunflower field stretch as far as eye can see. Once sunflower season is over, marigold and globe amaranth start blooming. A sunflower farm in Millgrove, Ontario, Canada, came up with a similar idea to make money in 2018. They had charged $6 for people to come to their farm to take Instagram selfies with their sunflowers. But within a week, all hell broke loose and owners eventually had to ban all visitors. If that happens in Gundlupet, chances of which is pretty slim, that won't be the worst part. Some flowers are really fragile, and if leaves are damaged, they can die prematurely. So when the farm harvests their flowers in few months, their crop could be way short. By ecotourism and wildlife, sadly we imagine big cats only when without pollination crops won't be available for livestock and herbivores and tigers' prey will diminish. And if bees gets affected in these fields, eventually human lives will come under threat. So yes, have your moment under the sun, but remember that there are 1,000 suns under the sky and you are one of them.